How's it going, everyone? This is Maximilian, and welcome to another weapon breakdown for Modern Warfare 3. And as promised before, we're going to be looking into the details, loadouts, and specifics of one of the better weapons in the game and perhaps the best submachine gun, and it's the MP7. In the previous episode, we covered the PP90, and I compared it and made it second best to the MP7. The PP90 has a great fire rate, but a terrible damage drop-off, and I actually like the MP7 for certain situations much more. As far as the MP7's fire rate, I think it's second best next to the PP90 and the PM9. But what makes it overall effective over any other submachine gun is its ease of usability. So, in situations where you have long targets or long away targets or close quarters targets, the MP7 fulfills this role very well. It's not nearly as broken as some submachine guns in the past, a la the MP5 with a silencer from Call of Duty 4, or the UMP with a silencer from Modern Warfare 2. You will still suffer a damage drop-off from the MP7, and let's talk about the damage and the damage drop-off. So, with the initial up-close spread, close-range shots from the MP7 will be doing 35 points of damage and long-range 20. This is about average for most submachine guns, meaning you'll drop people in 3 hits up close and 5 hits from afar. What I like about the MP7 is that its recoil is practically non-existent. Using proficiencies like kick are absolutely unnecessary for a weapon of this type. If you start to get used to how the gun sways when you fully automatic fire, it can be very effective from burst firing at long distance to take out targets because of its semi-quick fire rate. So from that, let's get into the proficiencies, and there are quite a few proficiencies I like to use with the MP7 to make it effective. But we'll talk about the one that I find the absolute most effective, and it's 2 attachments. I like to add range on at times just to increase the weapon's effective range, but a lot of times submachine guns' range is not great, and you'll get that damage drop off very quick, and it's even easier to shoot people from distance with this weapon, so range in some situations can be good, but more often than not, you should run 2 attachments. Let's talk about the attachments now, since there are also a bunch of attachments that make this weapon very effective. For the most overall effectiveness and usability, I think running a silencer on this weapon is extremely good. There's almost no reason to go loud and proud with it because if you have the damage drop off and the weapon has already less recoil, you're able to control your targets at long range, so you might as well go silent and be a stalker. At this point, you're also going to want to run something like rapid fire. Now, rapid fire can be an issue. The clip on this weapon is pretty big. I think it holds about 40 rounds. And that can go pretty fast with rapid fire, but if you are using rapid fire, it doesn't even matter since those long-range shots. You hose bullets so fast and they're so concentrated that long-range targets will drop very fast. But you also need to use a specific perk with this one, and I recommend Sleight of Hand or Sleight of Hand Pro. It helps a ton if you drop an enemy and you need to reload really quick to take out a few more targets. The only issue with running rapid fire and something along this line is that you're going to run out of bullets quick. You're going to be able to take about maybe 6 or 7 people before you got to pick up another gun. So this is kind of a specialist category. If you're running something like the specialist, having scavenger is very helpful when it comes to the MP7 because you're able to reload your bullets quicker and you don't have to worry about the amount of ammunition you're using. That or putting scavenger in your specialist loadout is very helpful. I still recommend using the silencer and 2 attachments, but you make your second attachment the extended mags. Extended mags is good because it boosts your ammo a little bit at the start of the game, and it actually makes it a lot easier to go for high-end kill streaks. A lot of the time I like to run low-end kill streaks when I'm using a submachine gun, but since you have the MP7 and it's effective at maximum distance, you can run things like Predator Missile into Reaper into AC-130 or Osprey Gunner. It's still effective and it's still very usable because you're more mobile than an assault rifle. You can move a lot faster. And that's really what makes the MP7 one of the most effective weapons in the game if you choose these loadouts. You become an all-range soldier. You can go at any distance and tackle any fight as long as you have a little bit of accuracy on your side to take down your opponents. But the biggest issue and the biggest problem with this gun, and the reason you do not see everybody rolling the MP7 and you see a lot more PP90s, is because you do not unlock the weapon until level 74. It is the final submachine gun you unlock, and it is easily one of the better weapons to use a prestige token on. I like the PP90 for some situations, and the PP90 does do better in a close-range firefight, but more often than not, it's the second best and most effective submachine gun up close, and it deals some brutal damage from afar. So let's wrap this one up. The best proficiency I think you can use for the MP7 is 2 attachments. There's a couple of separate classes you can run, but the 2 attachments I prefer are always a silencer on either one. Try rapid fire, or on the other one you can try extended mags. As long as the silencer is included, I think that is very important. As far as perks go, I think the only real necessary perk to make the MP7 effective is Sleight of Hand. It does have a semi-slow reload time, and having Sleight of Hand behind you, whether you have extended mags or a rapid-fire short-clipped gun, is always good, and it always gets you back into the fight faster. If you want to talk about second tier, I like running Hardline or Assassin, and I also prefer running Stalker on the MP7 to maximize your mobility in close-range gunfights. And that'll just about do it for the MP7. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you'd like to see further weapon breakdowns or Modern Warfare 3 gameplay commentaries, you can visit my channel at youtube.com/miles923. But if you could, leave a comment below for what weapon you would like to see in a later weapon breakdown. I'm currently thinking about doing the ACR next, which can easily be considered one of the best assault rifles, and we're going to break down why that is. Thanks very much for watching, guys. This has been Maximilian, signing out.